Hey everyone, we're back with more FF14. We're joined by Lord Theory now, and 10 Gauge Punk and Vector. How you doing, guys? Welcome. I just found out that the woman who voiced Lena, the captain of the guard here, also voiced Athena from the Pandemonium series in Endwalker, which is interesting. Also, those are the only two roles she's accredited with, so she hasn't done voice work other than that, which, you know, holds out hope for me, because I'm not a very good voice actor, but I would love to be able to add my voice to any game, really. I could easily do the Rollo voice. This would be perfect for a game somewhere, I'm sure. Got a work call in about 45 minutes? Man, I don't feel for you. That's one thing about my job, is I rarely ever have to deal with anyone call-wise. Like, I gotta call my boss every night, but that call's usually like 2 minutes. And Omega, he's got it worse than anything. He's got to deal with people face to face. Is that the King Candy voice? I just made it up for Rollo, so if that's King Candy, then cool, I can do that voice. All set? We follow this road north, and then we will arrive at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not far beyond. Quickly now. Oh, well, this just happens to be where we're going anyway. Omega, what do you think of my mount? You should recognize it. If you've ever played, it's not the right color scheme. They changed the color scheme, but this is the Ark from Final Fantasy IX, who is also based on Cruise Chaser Blasty from Final Fantasy IX, or from Cruise Chaser Blasty. You like some of these calls, you get to talk to salespeople who are cool in general, but you have to type up a synthesis of what they all say, which is annoying. Yeah, that sounds awful. $236 northwest. Where is our Amaro dude? What's the gemstone trader? Not an emerald. So this expansion added in a thing where basically they added in these bicolor gemstones. You can use them to buy like cards and other things, right? But you can also use them to buy these maps, and the maps you could use to yeah, I think these upgrade your mount speed in the zone, which is pretty cool. So I might do a few of those eventually. Closer to a summary than a synopsis. Well, there's our ether current. $772 yalms to the west. Well, we're not going that far west, I'm afraid. Look at my drought chocobo. This is a big chocobo. You hear synthesis and you think healing ability for Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur? I mean, fair. It is an ability that, you know, grass Pokemon tend to have. Which is, you know, really just a cut down of the photosynthesis. Man, my mom's hilarious. She was like yelling at me one day about something, and then she was like, "Ah, the sun's too bright," because I opened the window. And I'm like, "What? No, it's not." And she goes, "You know I have photosynthesis in my eyes." And I'm like, "You absorb sunlight to gain nutrients in your eyes. Wouldn't you want that?" And she's like, "No." She meant photosensitivity. But, yeah. Your assistance is appreciated. You're here! We are heading in together, yes? The Exarch has asked that we wait, so we waited. Holminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighbor to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in the recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villages, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have a good reason to believe that a light warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than we expected. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They hold more light inside them than all their underlings put together. It can be struck down, aye, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being, a reckless young swordswoman perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. Ah, well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that the guards stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. And concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my captain. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such danger without an escort from my ranks. I insist that I go with you. Very well. Then our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Leveilleurs, Captain Lena, and last but not least... a formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Once we reach the Light Warden, do not hold back. We strike to kill. I don't know what you were talking about. Yeah. We know all about that, guys. We've been here for a while now. Okay, so this was actually the first instance in the game that let you use duty support, or at the time, just trust. But they added it in later for other ones, which is why I waited so long to play this. Holminster Switch, an idyllic settlement in the northern reaches of Lakeland, a tranquil village where folks spend their days raising livestock and tending crops, a ripe target for a light warden and its swarm of voracious sin-eaters. Reports of bloody carnage have reached the Crystarium, and the guard is deployed in force. The answer to Holminster's plea for aid. The Crystal Exarch has need of your strength, for this is no skirmish with a stray abomination. To triumph against a warden would be to strike a telling blow in the unending war for the first survival. Alright. We will go in there with the Crystal Exarch tanking, Alice DPSing, and the Captain of the Guard DPSing. Lena. This is a boot naturally because he's Canadian. You know, you joke, but I've never actually heard Canadians say a boot. I've heard Scottish people say a boot. So here we are. That bear just got fucking stabbed. I think one of the funniest things is when Butters gets a Canadian girlfriend in South Park and meets her parents, and her father turns to him and he's like, "So, you got maple fever, eh?" Because apparently having feelings for a Canadian, it means you have maple fever. I'm American. I drink cheap beer, shoot guns, and destroy the environment. Because America! Fuck yeah! Alright, these dire mites over here are called Forgiven Follies. That's not me, what the fuck, dude? In all seriousness, no, fuck the environment. Alice, say, you sack of shit. What the actual fuck? Also, why did you use technical fit? Okay, you know what, whatever. Do what you want. Who cares that we were almost done the pull? It actually might be better to 290. It is actually better to use glare when there's two targets. Alice, what the fuck? She's like running into the AoEs. You pick those up, please. Probably shouldn't say things that trigger people in chat. I'm sure anybody in chat realizes that you are almost certainly joking. Though if you are not joking, don't say them. I would appreciate that. Thinking, did you describe yourself as a Puritan? Also, these things are called forgiving glamours.
For the Crystarium!
Oh, this actually hurt my MP. Again, she puts out that buff when everything's basically dead. That's reassuring. This is the perfect time for Holy because I have a lot of targets. These other diamonds, like the smaller bugs, are called Forgiven Ignorance. In case you're wondering, the Sin Eaters all have a theme to them, and that's the term Forgiven tends to be in place of, or in their name somewhere. There's also other themes that they have with them as well, which will become apparent when we fight some of the bigger ones. You describe yourself as an ugly sack of mostly water. Mostly water, some sinew, and some beaks. Oh, what? That's not what I wanted to cast. Oops, accidentally cast here too. That's gonna hurt the MP. So the thing about this is aside from the occasional ability that happens also AoE, our NPCs here don't really do much in the AoE. Crush grapes. You know, hey, look who it is. She's missing part of her wing. It's almost like we saw it. I knew it. That's the Ada from Amarang. Yeah, this is the one that transformed Tesleen. All right, you guys ready for our first boss? This is Forgiven Dissonance. Brazen Bull. Gibbet Cage. Alice, what the actual fuck? Why the hell does she keep getting hit by things? Damn, that actually does significant damage. Hey, her tank buster is called Pillory. Just give it cage. She's not gonna do it this time. All right.
Let's give them a show.
Here's Pillory again. You guys sensing a theme for the attacks? Because Brazen Bull, Gibbet Cage, and Pillory are all names of torture devices. I was gonna say, you better fucking move, you sack of shit. Wooden horse.
I'm with you.
I don't know what the fuck you got hit by, LSA, but seriously, stop. By the way, I love the battle theme in this expansion. She dead. My allies are AI, yeah. I've gone in here with a team of NPCs instead of a team of crack scientists. No, instead of a... So someone help! Ah! Well, that's a lot of Sin Eaters. You're lurking now. Yeah, so Omega, they added into the game that you could essentially do all the dungeons with a team of NPCs. If you want, it's really helpful for the game in a lot of ways because the you don't have to deal with the queue times as a DPS. Now it is slower than running with actual players, but it's also safer for me as a healer because I'm not a good healer, and yeah. Lakeland, Ring of Aiming. What do you take damage from? Healing is probably my weakest role in this game. Whereas I can tank, but... I'm also not a very good DPS, so, you know, there's that. Forgiven disobedience. Okay, well, Chris Larker, actually, you wanna pick that up? Thank you, bud. Slow will fall off. I'm not gonna bother casting. Only got 2 seconds on it. Oh, only one left. All right. Now time to glare spam. You're a good healer, Omega. What healer do you like playing as? By the way, Omega, FF14 is free up to Stormblood right now. If you play the free trial, but I'm not sure if you if you'd have to make a new account or not. Taking a bit of a pounding. Right now I'm playing White Mage because of all the healers, this is probably the most straightforward one, and yeah. Alright, here's our second boss. Let my MP restore though before I go in. So of all the healers, White Mage is the most straightforward, so it's the only one I really get. Scholar and Sage are shield healers, and they're a little more complicated for me to understand the best uses of them. I just don't have a mind for healing. I wondered where you went. This is Tesleen, guys. The chick who got transformed into a senator in front of us. And this quite loves this area as well. There's no point getting us all the way to full HP because I have a hot on them, which will heal them up to full anyway, so. I should look at his health though. That's another thing in this is you gotta actually pay a lot of attention to what your teammates are doing, because if they position themselves, they have set spots that they go to, and you can really screw things up if you try to like go to an area that's not what they're programmed to. I don't know if I'm putting another DF on him. Got her. Tesleen, be at peace. Bye, Tesleen. Yeah, Scholar and Sage are like your shield healers. They're very interesting, but I'm not very good with them. Astrologian is another throughput healer, but it's less straight up throughput like White Mage and more, it's got more buffs to it, but they keep like dumbing down the cards, people are saying, so. Which I get, because nobody likes RNG in their Final Fantasy. So that's the thing here, right? Like, people go and pull every one of these monsters. I'm not good enough at this game to want to do that. I'm content with the tiny pulls because I'm a bad healer. Didn't mean to cast heal cure there, but oh. It worked. Yay! 3 more, or a group of more. Ow, that hurt. But Waymates does get some pretty decent DPS options too, so that's pretty cool. I do find that I'm using a lot more MP in these dungeons than I am in the earlier ones, so I'll hang on to a size. Sorry, my brain just fucking died. I'll hang on to a size until we're done this. I like the music of this dungeon. The Fire and Sword, it's called. And here's our last batch. It's interesting. Most people tend to go after the little ones first, but the trusts, they go after the big one. Okay. So, some of the spells have like interesting flavor text, and one of my favorites is actually from the Astrologian. Why is this happening? Astrologians get a an ability called Combust, and its flavor text is proximity to a theoretical sun is causing damage over time. That seems ridiculous to me. Alright, here is our boss theme. This is the Light Warden, Philia. Scavenger's Daughter is the name of a torture device. Damn, I'll say that was a ton of damage like right there. Tank Buster, it's Head Crusher, that's also a tank implement. No, a torture implement, not a tank implement. Alright, so here's the real gimmick of the fight. This. This hectic nonsense of him running, spinning, and slamming.
For the Crystarium!
It goes on quite a while. He's done, alright. Oh, one sec. You can tell what side he's gonna punch based upon which army is raised, so. Alina's getting the chain put on her again. Oops, didn't mean to put Dia back up, but there it is.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater!
Nothing. Welcome back, Vector. You're here for one of my favorite boss things in the game. This is Philia, Light Warden. She's changed a lot from her appearance in Tales of Destiny. Woot! Looks like Simo's Aeon, but white? No, that doesn't look like anima. I guess I could see some similarity. It's got a very long tongue. Alright, here goes, guys.
It's releasing its ether! Fall back! We cannot let it touch us! Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw!
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption. The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you. Behold! The monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Scar. It can't be.
What's happening?
It's so beautiful. The sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin-Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you, stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
I'll become the warrior you need. It sounds like a glorious adventure. Seems I have no choice but to fight. Sounds like a glorious adventure.
On behalf of the First, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exarch, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Senator is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
Alright, ladies and gents, before we go on, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to kick some more butt. Don't go anywhere.